How many of you have experienced this scenario? The alarm goes off. You hit the snooze button at least 3 times, if not more. You finally drag yourself out of bed feeling groggy. You rush through getting ready, grab whatever's quickest for breakfast, if you eat breakfast at all, and you dash out the door feeling like you're already behind before your day has ever even started. That's right. We've all been in this scenario at least one time, if not more, in our life. What if I told you that the secret to having a successful morning doesn't actually start in the morning at all? It actually begins the night before. Your evening routine is the hidden foundation that can transform your sleep quality, productivity, and overall well being. I know, that's a lot, right? Just from an evening routine, it is totally worth it. And I'm hoping by the end of this video, you will be 100% on board. Today, I'm going to show you how to create an evening routine that works for you. It's backed by science, proven through experience, and completely customizable to fit your life. Welcome to the Euphony Within channel. My name is Dara. I'm a certified wellness practitioner, and on this channel, we like to discuss ways to achieve the mindset that allows us to reach the ultimate level of happiness. How, you might ask? Through happier, healthier living, of course. If that sounds like you, be sure to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more uplifting content around personal development and all things around life balance. Okay, let's jump into the science first, and then we'll dig into the evening routine secrets. Let's start with why. Science has repeatedly shown that our brains and our bodies crave consistency and structure. I know, right? But our bodies respond so well to it, and I'm going to show you 3 scientific proofs. When we establish a regular evening routine, our bodies will start to naturally release melatonin more effectively, which in turn improves our overall sleep quality, which also means that we wake up feeling more refreshed and not as tired. Our stress hormone in our bodies, called cortisol, actually decreases up to 27% again when we are creating a consistent evening routine. And our brains begin to form neural pathways, like we talked about last week, that make future routines easier to maintain. Again, our brains are looking for those neural pathways of what to create, and the routine and structure of an evening routine will help. Your brain will start to help you. You'll start to actually be like, hey, I'm tired and it's 10 o'clock. This isn't normal. But it is the new normal, and that's the thing we have to remember with science. Improved sleep from increased melatonin, because it knows your body knows what time to start releasing it to make you sleepy. Decrease in the stress cortisol hormone by 27%. And your brain starts to form the neural pathways to make the future routines easier when it comes to an evening routine. And if that's not enough for you, a study from the Journal of Sleep Research found that participants who followed a consistent evening routine reported falling asleep 37% faster and experienced 50% fewer nighttime awakenings. But what surprised researchers most was how these benefits extended beyond just sleep. People with established evening routines reported 31% less morning anxiety. Yes, sign me up, please. 24% higher productivity ratings in the first 2 hours of their workday, and significantly higher overall life satisfaction scores. I mean, the science is all there, but as you can see, our evening routines really do impact not only how our day goes, but also how our body functions in that day. Again, we've all been there where we're tired, feel like zombies walking around, or we wake up in the middle of the night and we just can't go back to sleep. We will address some of these concerns coming up in the video, but I'd love to hear from you. Do you have a consistent evening routine? Let me know in the comments. Or is it something that you kind of struggle with? We go through different seasons in life, so there may be times where you are better with your evening routine versus other times where you're not. And maybe you've never even thought about an evening routine. We're going to cover all the bases here. Let's dig into four components of an evening routine. The first key component is digital detox. Now, before you go all like, I'm not giving up my phone or my computer, hear me out, okay? The reason the digital detox in the evenings is important is because it actually helps with calming our bodies to be restful. And it also helps with kind of slowing the brain down. So it's going from go mode and transitioning into a sleep and restful mode. Even relaxation in the evenings when you get home. Let's face it, most of us are scrolling right up until bedtime. The blue light from our screens suppresses melatonin production by up to 50%. And the constant stimulation keeps our brains in an active alert state. So those nights when you're just like, I just can't sleep, or maybe you have a hard time sleeping in general, this might be the first place to start or to look into. Here are some proven strategies for a mini digital detox in the evenings. One, it's good to set a cutoff time for technology. Ideally, it would be 60 to 90 minutes before bed. You can use a do not disturb feature on your phone or focus mode. You can also turn off all your notifications, which is important, except for emergency phone calls on your devices. And you can also try creating a charging station outside of your bedroom so it's not even next to you. It's okay to turn your phone off or to have it be in a different room. This can be something that really helps you with, again, getting into an evening mode of relaxation. For those of you who absolutely must use technology, be sure to use the blue light filters or apps that they have and use the night mode settings built into most devices. Now, you might be asking, what would I do instead of scrolling on my phone? Some things that I personally like to do is I like to listen to lighthearted content. I watch a funny show with my partner. Maybe doing some skincare or self pampering if I have time. I also like listening to affirmations in the evenings as I'm starting to drift off. We also use a sound machine as well, which kind of again signals to the body it's time to go to sleep. Those are some things that we do to kind of start to detach from my phone and from social media and really start to again get into that, okay, I'm preparing for sleep mode. I will say there are some nights that are more successful than others, and that's pretty common. So, again, we'll talk about how to create an evening routine that works for you. But the main thing with the digital detox is just starting to let your brain get out of go mode and really start to get into relaxation mode. Because when your brain switches off, it actually helps your body start to relax. And we'll talk about some other things to help shut your brain off here. But for the social media part of it, like we talked about with the blue lights in fact impacting things. If you're scrolling through TikTok or other things quickly, that actually is keeping your brain in a very active state and turned on. So these are some things, some little light tips that can kind of help with really helping you to detach and start to relax and get into a more evening routine that again will help you with the next day because regardless of what you're doing, all the stuff that you're scrolling through on social media will be there the next day. So you're not really going to miss out on anything because it'll be there in the morning for you when you get there. So that can be a great thing for digital detox as well. It's just giving yourself a break from the news and things like that. That's techno stress in our holistic stress management terms. And these are all things that, again, even though you might not feel stressed, it creates stress in your body because your body is holding on to that stress, whether you realize it or not. Okay, so the second key component to an evening routine is planning and preparation. Again, we're trying to set ourselves for having a successful morning the next day. And so you can spend just 10 minutes in the evening reviewing the schedule for tomorrow, preparing what you'll need or thinking about it ahead of time. You can also use that to communicate with your family on what might need to happen if you need to pick up a kid, if there's a baseball game and someone needs to take care of dinner, all those types of things. It can be a great in the evening planning ahead for the next day. These simple practices help reduce morning decision fatigue. That is a real thing. The simple practice reduces morning decision fatigue and eliminates those last minute rushes that can happen in the morning. When you set your goals and create a to-do list in the evenings, it also can help take that off your mind so that you're not waking up in the morning wondering what you need to do. You already know what's going to happen. And the best part is your brain already knows what's going to happen. So when it wakes up, it already knows what to do. So this simple step can really help with reducing stress. It can help you wake up with purpose and knowing what to do. When you wake up, if you hit the snooze button 3 times, it won't matter if your breakfast is already made and everything's laid out for you ahead of time. You just kind of jump into the day versus trying to catch up with the day. Let's talk through some possible processes. One thing you can do in your evening planning and preparation sessions, you can review your calendar for the next day's appointments. Select your outfit out and lay it out, especially if you have early mornings. That can really help with having stuff prepared ahead of time. If you can prepare breakfast and lunch for the following day as much as possible, that's another reducer of stress that really helps you wake up feeling like, oh, I have everything ready already. The fourth thing would be to write out your top 3 priorities for tomorrow. This again can help with if something pops up that is not a priority, then you delegate to other people if need be so that you can accomplish the priorities. A lot of times when we get to the end of our day, which we'll talk about here in a minute, we can feel like we missed out or didn't accomplish something that we really needed to. Whereas if you think about it the day before, you can plan for things, talking to the people in your life or letting people at work know or your boss, hey, I'm going to need to really focus on this project. If that's the thing that helps you to feel more prepared for the next day, it can be a game changer. And those are all things that you can do in the afternoon or in the evening to help you set up for a successful next day. Now, I used to do this when I did early morning biometric screenings at companies when I would go in, where I was getting up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I would have what I was going to have for my breakfast and my mid-morning second breakfast. And then I would also see how long it was going to take me to drive to the company. So I knew exactly how long I had to get there. And then I would also lay out my clothes the next day. And this really helped with the morning routine and really it just became second habit. So it really wasn't a big deal getting up that early when I had to because I already had the routine ready from the night before, which helped me have a really successful morning the next day, which also helped me to be in a lot better mood and happier for the people who were coming in for the biometric screenings. And I was able to help them more with their health and wellness when they would come in to get their results. So it was a win-win for everyone. Now, something that I've seen clients do is to have a launch pad area. Maybe it can be your kitchen counter or designated spot where they place everything they need to grab before leaving the house the next morning. And again, you can do this with like having your lunch bag ready in the fridge, or you can have your keys and whatever you're going to need to walk out the door. This has been something that I've seen a lot of clients be successful with. All the things that we're talking about, maybe a max of 10 minutes. Um, and it saves you at least 30 minutes of stress the next morning. It definitely pays off to spend the 10 minutes in the evening because 30 minutes stress free in the morning that trickles into the rest of your day is priceless, as they say on the credit card commercial. It's priceless. All right. The third key component is about mindfulness and reflection at the end of your day. Like we talked about this earlier in the video, but a lot of times we're in doing activity mode and we need to get into resting mode. And that's not really going to happen if you try to go from 100 to 0 just like that. Your body, your mind, everything is just not able to downshift that quickly. So we're not able to go from straight activity to sleep in an instant. And so the Mindfulness and reflection practices in the evening can really help with setting up for the next day because it can help improve our sleep and really help us with getting into that relaxation and sleeping mode. Now, some examples of mindfulness and reflections can be something as simple as writing down what were some great things that happened from the day. And that can be through a gratitude journal. It can be just in your head as you're cleaning up after dinner or something where you say, hey, what were three things that went really well today? And just have that conversation in your mind too, or track it on your phone in your notes. Another part of this can be if you have a hard time letting go of your day, just take 5 minutes to write out whatever was frustrating. And then that can also help lead to letting things go and being able to sleep without continuing to process things that happened that day. These practices are to help quiet our mind and process the day. So, writing how the day went, good or bad, can be really helpful with processing it. Thinking about maybe what you would like to do better tomorrow, if there is anything, while also recognizing the good things that you did during the day is a really great practice. And I have a great journal. It's the 5 minute journal. Yeah, the 5 minute journal is a great app and book to use to help with these things. It goes through gratitude, but it also looks at what went well for the day and what's something that you would like to continue for the next day. So, those are all great practices to put into place, especially when it comes to letting go. If you tend to be someone who holds on to stuff or overthinks, totally guilty. And research shows that the practice of thinking of good things throughout the day, or that the practice of gratitude and thinking of the good things that happen or added value to your life not only improves sleep quality, but it also increases your overall happiness levels. So, win win. The other thing that you can do is to put into practice, whether it's stretching or breathing, again, something that helps the body get into a relaxed state. I mentioned earlier, I like to listen to affirmations in the evenings, ones that talk about letting go of the day and just really help me go off into a great mindset as I go to sleep, so that I wake up in a positive mindset too. But taking a few minutes to breathe, you can do box breathing is a great technique, or just breathing in for a simple 4 to 7 seconds can really help. There are all types of breathing techniques on YouTube if you wanted to look at them or to learn or practice. I'm happy to do a video if you're interested in it, but breathing techniques can really help with putting the body into a relaxed state and help with letting go of the day and the stresses that came along with that day. Same thing with lightly stretching or moving the body can really help with creating relaxation and helping the muscles to release tension as well. Muscle relaxation technique is another great one because you tense your muscles and then you relax them, and it really helps the body to release in those specific areas. So, these are all beautiful practices that you can put into place that really you don't need special equipment or hours on end. You can take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. So it can make a profound difference with our mental, physical, and emotional wellness as well. All right, our fourth key component to an evening routine is sleep optimization. That's right. Establishing a consistent bedtime can be a game changer for life because even if you wake up at different times in the morning, you can always go to bed at a certain time. And that will help you with setting up for the next day. Because again, our bodies and our brain love a consistent, structured routine and day. Don't ask me why. I've seen patients just structure their day and lose weight. It's crazy. But our bodies need the safety and security of knowing what to expect. And then it chills out and it's like, okay, we can go into auto mode and we'll be fine. So, a good night's sleep is essential for productivity and clarity. You should aim for about 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and your future self will totally thank you. A good night's sleep is essential for productivity and clarity. What our bodies actually do while we're sleeping is it's like hitting reset or restart on your computer or reboot. Our bodies actually recharge the heart system. It gets rid of all the extra stuff that we have in our brain. I mean, it really resets itself. So it needs sleep. So when you do get sleep, you wake up feeling refreshed. or like you just can think so much better. You might not even need that extra cup of coffee. Who knows what the new world of possibility is if we can get our sleep optimized. And if you can aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep, which is the suggestion, your future self will thank you big time. Just if you focus on anything else, focusing on sleep quality is actually component number one, but we put it at fourth because, all those other things help you with getting sleepy. So, how do we set up for optimized sleep? If you can optimize your sleep environment, your sleep quality will improve so much. And sleep quality matters just as much as quantity, and small adjustments can yield drastic results when it comes to our sleep. So, what is the ideal sleep environment? Well, one, you want it to be cool. If you want specifics, we're looking at 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit is optimal for most people. We want dark. If you're in a light place or you work night shifts, blackout curtains or sleep masks can be a great thing to help with that, with keeping it in a dim space. Again, when we talked about the blue lights, that affects on our TV, our screens, everything. So if you can get to where you can create that dark environment, it helps the body know, hey, we can release the melatonin and start to get sleepy now. Consider quiet. A quiet space is really great for falling asleep. And if you're the type of person that you need something going on, a sound machine, if you live in a noisy area, or if you have 18,000 people in the house, that sound machine can help with creating that noise too. We even brought our sound machine along on our cruise at the beginning of the year, and it was just great. We automatically knew as soon as the sound machine went on, it was sleepy time. And our bodies have gotten really good at that. My grandson also loves the sound machine, and he knows when it's sleepy time that way too. So, again, quiet is great. Another thing is that you might want to consider cleaning or uncluttering your physical environment. Having a non cluttered space can really help improve your sleep because we're taking in stressors, whether we realize it or not, from our environment. And if that's stressing you out, it can impact your sleep as well. So having a clean and uncluttered environment can really help with de-stressing and helping you with getting better sleep. Two, if you wake up in the middle of the night and have to go to the bathroom, you don't have to worry about hitting something or tripping something and then waking yourself all the way up too. The other thing that I would add to this would be trying not to watch something super exciting like a scary movie or a suspense thriller before bed. My partner and I sometimes are on the exact same sleep routine. However, he is more of a night person and I am more of a morning daytime person. And so he might be up watching something quiet. However, we have an agreement that it's not anything news related or dropping F bombs or something like that. It's got to be somewhat uplifting content or non reactive content. That's a little secret that we have with each other that really helps with sleep quality for me and being able to sleep. I'm not like unconsciously taking in how the stock market's doing or something like that. And then I like start to have bad dreams and I don't get as restful sleep. So again, working out if you sleep with another person, how that looks for you, that can be a really big game changer to quality of sleep as well. So something that we do is temperature regulation. I will either be super hot or super cold. Most of the time I'm super hot. So we have a fan that we do. If I'm cold, I have a warm fuzzy blanket that I use. I put that in my favorites thing during the holidays video. You can certainly go back and watch that one. It has a lot of great stuff in it. But that is one thing that I really love, as well as music therapy is another great thing that I like to do where you can again, play something on the TV or pop your headphones in while your phone's in the other room and just have a sleeping sound playlist can be really great. Like listening to something like classical music or music without words. Smooth jazz can be another great one. Or even to, like I mentioned, listening to the sleeping meditations, that music is geared towards, again, getting the body into relaxation state. So, those are all some fun little tips that I do for getting good sleep quality. And let me tell you, when I am out, I am out, and it is awesome. um, but again, there are some nights where we just can't sleep, and we can do a whole other video on what to do when you can't sleep. But for evening routines and creating one, these are some great beginning steps that can really help. Okay, we have covered a lot of stuff, and your head may be like spinning everywhere and like, how would I actually put this into practice, Dara? I need to see what this looks like. Or maybe you're a visual person like me. I like to visually see it. So here you are up on your screen. Here is an example of an evening routine. Again, an example. It may not fit you, but it gives you like a timeline outline. So let's say by 6:30, you're doing your final round of checks of emails and messages before you begin your digital detox. Around 7, you can reset your kitchen after dinner or do lunch prep for tomorrow. 7:15, you can review your calendar and set out items for the next morning. If your calendar happens to be digital, you can also just kind of review with the people in your life for the next day as well during that time frame. Around 7:30, maybe you'll do some stretching or do like a light walk. You can take a bath, take a shower, whatever that looks like to start winding down. Around 7:45, you can do like a gratitude journal or breathing exercises, or you can do your letting go of your day, writing out stuff. And then 8 p.m., bedroom optimization, get your temperature all cool, the darkness, start having quieter things. You can read if you like to read, and really just kind of work on getting yourself into a sleepy state. Now, this can be at whatever time you might need. Maybe you are a late person and you don't go to bed till midnight. Well, then you would push this back to like starting at 8. So maybe you don't have a perfect 2-hour window to do all of these things. Well, you can plan it out in 30-minute increments or pick one of these things to focus on to try to start implementing into your life. If you see one of these things on here that you're like, hey, that seems like the place for me, then just pick one. It's not an all or nothing mentality here. We are all about doing what works for you. And again, I've mentioned this in the past few videos, and this whole series is called a routine refresh because we have a 14-day email series that helps you with refreshing your routine and really personalizing it. So if you're interested in that, the link is down below. It is completely free and it's super easy to do. You do a few assessments, you can answer what your dream routine is, and it really helps you with narrowing down and problem solving for yourself. If you feel like you need something even more personalized and you would like to work together, I have my coaching schedule open and that link is also below. However, you can pick your timing based on your schedule, and the sequence remains important. Preparation, followed by mental determination, followed by physical relaxation, is really all we're doing. We're saying goodbye to the active part of our day, embracing the slowing down part of our day, and really digging into sleep. Now, you may be thinking, this sounds great, but my life is different. I have kids, I work late, I share a living space, I don't have any help, I have to do everything myself. That's why customization is key. You got to figure out what works for you and start at a place of where you can work with something. Again, it doesn't have to be all these things. Pick one and work on it. And maybe it's time to ask for changing up the routine around the house and asking for more help, or accepting that things might not be done exactly the way you like it. But if you have help and it can take something off your list, it's worth it in the end. Your evening routine should work for your life, not someone else's on Instagram. Perfect vision of what life is. I cannot tell you some of these morning and evening routines, y'all. What? That is not sustainable. So figure out what works for you. I mentioned I like to do self care or self pampering sometimes. Do I do a mask every night? No, I do not. Do I treat myself to it like once a month? Yes. And it doesn't have to be every night. Pick and choose. If it's something that you really want to add, then maybe you do it once a week. It's what works for your life. If you have children, involve them in the evening routine. If you work late, even a 15-minute abbreviated version yields benefits in your life. If you share space with other people, communicate the importance of this time and find compromises. Have it be a team effort, because if one person starts an evening routine, it creates a trickle effect that then the rest of the house has an evening routine that works for them. And then everybody's getting sleep. Everybody's waking up less stressed and less groggy, and everyone's in a better mood. Just saying. That's a win-win for everyone. Remember, It's about consistency, not perfection. And be patient with each other. It's going to take some time to get used to these new things, and that's okay. Now, I want to take a minute to remind you that while developing a new routine, our neural pathways are changing. We talked about this in the video last week when creating 12 weeks and why it's a sweet spot. You can watch that video, it'll be linked at the end of this one. But routines take time to develop and to change in your life. This isn't going to happen overnight. And it takes consistency and patience with yourself. But within 2 weeks, you can start to notice a significant difference and improvement in your sleep quality, improvement in your morning mood, and your overall productivity. So it doesn't take long, but it does take that consistency and repetitiveness and patience. And what surprises clients the most is how these benefits can cascade into other areas of their life. It like creates a domino effect. Better mornings lead to more productive days. More productive work days lead to less work related stress in the evenings, which means less evening stress leads to better sleep. And that creates what's called a positive feedback loop. It all starts with your evening routines. That is the sweet sauce to really having a great next day. Your evening routine, secrets out. We told the secret. Evening routines is where the secret sauce is. If you're ready to transform your evenings and set yourself up for a successful morning, I've created something very special for you. It is the 14-day routine refresh. It's an email series where we walk through building a sustainable evening routine step by step. Each day you'll receive an email with an actual change to implement or a assessment to figure out what's working and not working, along with tips for making it stick. The link is in the description below. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, be sure to click the link below, set up a free discovery call, and we can talk about ways to help support you as you're going through making these behavior changes. Next week, we'll be exploring the perfect companion to this video, creating a morning routine that builds on the foundation you've established in the evening. You won't want to miss it, so come back. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe. Share it with some friends. I'd love to hear in the comments what's one element of an evening routine that you're already doing, and what's one that you would like to start doing. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, you're not alone. And even though the sun may not be shining today or tomorrow, it will come out again. I'll see you guys next week.